welcome back. We're here with another nominee for the third annual Marion Lindblad-Goldberg Award. I'm Dr. Jennifer Benjamin of the Philadelphia Child and Family Therapy Training Center. We are here today celebrating Dr. Amber Berkoski. Hi, Amber.
Hi, Dr. Benjamin.
She is one of our supervisor nominees, and we are here today with the clinical supervisor from her program, Tasha Thorpe. Hey, Tasha.
Hello, hello, hello.
And their cohort trainer, Sabrina Valente. Hey, Sabrina.
Hello.
So, Tasha, I'm going to turn to you first. Why did y'all decide to nominate Amber for the Marion Lindblad-Goldberg Award?
Coming out of the field and into admin and working alongside of Amber has given me a whole new perspective on the job. And watching her day to day, I'm just not surprised that she's nominated. I'm not surprised at all. Amber consistently embodies what this award represents, and she consistently leads with like the systemic lens. She prioritizes connection. She brings intention to everything that she does, even on the dumpster fire days. Um, and it's being on the other side of it with her. It's not something that she has to turn on. It's just literally like her work every single day. And I'm learning a lot.
So, I hear you speaking about Amber's leadership. I'm curious, what have you seen her do with her leadership in the face of adversity?
She balances clarity with connection. Mm-hmm. She's direct and structured, but also collaborative. And you never leave her office or a phone call or even a text message without feeling supported.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So how does Amber's commitment to her growth and development, how does that impact your own commitment for your growth? Because I heard you mention that, being direct is one of your growth edges, right? So what does being a part of her program, how is this elevating you?
It's interesting. I can't say that I haven't always felt this, but I feel it even more now. Like I feel both guided and valued working with her. And it creates an environment, even on my dumpster fire days, where I I know I can grow. Like I don't feel stuck in the dumpster that like I can't get out of. I know that I'll be able to get out of it because she constantly is standing on the outside of it, pulling us out. So I know that I know that I'll come up out of it. And that it's the guided and valued and knowing that this environment allows us to grow.
Yeah, that's incredible. So, Sabrina, I'm going to turn to you next. So why are you not surprised that Amber's been nominated for this award?
I think I'm not surprised because I echo what Tasha said, that Amber lives and breathes the ESFT model. And that's very evident in her interactions with the supervisors and her cohorts and with me. And one of the other reasons I think I'm not surprised is that she has this very strong commitment to her own personal growth and development. And one of the things that I really value about Amber is the way that she's so overt about her growth. So it's not uncommon at all for me to get emails from her saying, I'm working on my growth edge by asking you to do this with me, or asking for your help in this, or a text message from her where she will very overtly say, like, this is my growth edge and this is what I need. Or in supervisors training, she will, name what she's working on. Or name why she's doing something, because it's part of her growth edge. And that overtness I think really allows the rest of the cohort to feel like they're not alone and to feel like we can all lean into our growth edges in a safe way.
Yeah. So Sabrina, what have you seen Amber do in the face of adversity?
One of the things I've watched Amber do in the face of adversity is be honest about what's impacting her and honest about how it's impacting her and not shy away from the things that have been difficult. The willingness to be vulnerable about what she's experiencing, both in personal adversity and with job-related adversity, I think just gives all of us permission to breathe and feel human and feel like we don't have to be like robots who are, performing at this high level and everything has to be okay all the time. Like it feels like with Amber and Amber's willingness to be vulnerable, it gives permission for the rest of our group to be vulnerable as well. And it's been a really beautiful thing to witness. And I've also watched her work really hard on, even in the face of adversity, trying to identify small moments of things that she has been finding joy in. And that has also, this was something that we started doing like in our cohort very early on in our supervisor's cohort when the pandemic started. And Amber, I feel like you were an integral part. I don't exactly remember exactly how it unfolded, but I feel like you were an integral part of us as a cohort being like, all this stuff is happening with the pandemic. There's all of this hardship that we're facing, and can we just for a moment hold space for some joy that we're all having? And that has been how we've started off our supervisor sessions for the past 5 years then, has been like, what's your growth edge and what's a joy that you are having? And I remember Amber being a really integral part of that. And I find that really like strength-based, that like even in the face of adversity, there are small things that we can all hold on to and celebrate and should be celebrated.
Oh. So how has Amber's commitment to growth influenced your commitment to growth?
The overtness of it has allowed me to be overt about my own growth edge as well. Because Amber is so clear around what her growth edge is and is so committed to naming her growth edge and is so committed to saying like, I'm practicing it by doing this, I'm practicing it by not doing this. I'm like, sometimes I'll get messages from her that will be like, I'm intentionally practicing my growth of not jumping into rescue. And again, just the clarity and the concreteness around like, this is why I'm doing this allows me to feel like I can then name what my growth edge is and why I'm doing or not doing something. And that has helped me to just feel more grounded.
Tiana, I'm going to come to you next. So Tiana is a supervisor at Amber's program. And Tiana, why are you not surprised that Amber's been nominated for this award?
I am not surprised that she has been nominated for this award because she has been doing a phenomenal job through everything that has been met up against her since the day that she has become director. She has had a lot of different challenges and she has rose to every single occasion. So I am actually not surprised because she's just been, kicking butt and taking names.
So what do you appreciate about her leadership in the face of adversity?
I appreciate all the things about her leadership, especially when it comes to being met with a lot of adversity. I think about what comes to mind is hiring, partnering, pairing people together, trying to figure all of that out. There's a lot of things that she has to think about for the sake of this program, for the sake of our clients. And I know that it is not an easy task trying to figure all of those things out. One thing that I've appreciated about her leadership, especially now more than ever is that she is always trying to be as collaborative as possible, which is something that, in my opinion, has changed. She has always been collaborative, but it's just been a lot more, especially with the other supervisors. And it is greatly appreciated because even in the midst of adversity, she will turn to other people to say, hey, like, I cannot do this on my own. How can we all do this together? And she just teaches me how to be technically a better leader and collaborate more. So,
Aw. Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, like, how has her growth impacted your growth? Like, how does watching her stay so committed inspire and help you stay committed to your own growth?
um, she's the epitome of a boss. And I say that because in so many different ways, like I've had different supervisors, I've had different leaders, and she reminds me a lot of when I love something that I do, I put my all into it. She has taught me, I guess, like technically over the years that yes, she is dedicated to this program. She will do anything and everything for this program and the people in the program. And for me, that has helped me to even be in the position that I'm in now as a supervisor, because if it wasn't for Amber, I would not be here as a supervisor. And consistently staying with all of us and trying to push us to grow and be the best us that we can be. Each and every day, she tries to grow and helps us grow as well, because if we're not growing, we're dying.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's like I don't have a choice to grow, but it's a beautiful thing of not having a choice. But it's just very helpful with all of the love and support from our lovely fearless leader.
So Amber, I'm going to come to you now.
Okay.
So Amber, what does it mean to be recognized as having the same passion and commitment as our fearless Director Emeritus, Dr. Marion Lindblad-Goldberg?
Oh, wow. Marion Lindblad-Goldberg embodies what it means to be systemic and strength-based. And she used that to create this integrative model that meets families where they are. So to even be mentioned in the same breath as Dr. Goldberg is an honor, because spending the last decade as a supervisor and longer as a clinician studying her work, what I've realized is that being systemic and strength-based is not, it's more than a model of treatment or a therapeutic approach. It is a way of being and seeing the world. And so if you're truly systemic, that shows up before you. It shows up when you enter rooms. And so believing in that, rather than it just being words, it helps supervisees and families to believe that they're their best resource for change. And if you say that with your whole chest, they will begin to believe it too. And that's where change happens. And so to have been the beneficiary of such an amazing way of working with families has made me a better clinician. And so to be recognized in this way and to hear people close to me professionally say the things about me that I try to be, it's reinforcing that this path that she laid down so long ago, that I'm on it and that I'm where I'm supposed to be. And so regardless of the outcome of this nomination, trusting the process of this systemic work is the bigger benefit for me, because I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I'm just impossibly grateful and humbled to be here.
I hear you speaking to this next question already, so I'll just jump to it. What sustains you and inspires you as, in a role of program director? Because it's a hard one.
It's a hard one. Problems never take a day off. Uh, I would say that when I was deciding to become a supervisor, I had already benefited from years of really good systemic supervision that had helped me to grow. And so when I chose the challenge of becoming a supervisor or even an assistant director or director, I knew that I could not be outside the process. I was not going to be a passive observer in the process. I had to know that I was going to be embedded in it, and that gave me a choice. That could either be scary as hell or it could be an amazing opportunity. And I choose to see it as an amazing opportunity because when we work with supervisees and they work with families, it is us and them versus the problem rather than us versus them. And that collaboration truly lightens the load because there is never going to be a shortage of problems. We commune up close and personal with trauma and tragedy and hardship and grief and loss every single day. And so when we do it together, we do it with a common purpose. And so that's what keeps me coming back to the table because there will never be a shortage of hard days. We do better work together.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think is your point of growth that you are most proud of?
I would say that, so I grew up in a family that would have been a family-based family. And so the hardship in my life taught me that I needed to be overly responsible for everyone in the room or something terrible was going to happen. And so professionally, when those signature themes show up, I have learned that that story that I told myself for a long time was one of isolation and distress. And so by working to be more collaborative and trusting the process, I actually learned that I don't have to carry it by myself. And every time I'm confronted with a challenge where my signature themes get big, I believe that by turning to my ecosystem, we will do a better job together. And that has allowed me to heal a lot of hurts in my life personally and to confront a lot of things professionally. And so if I didn't believe that to be true, I know that this job would be a lot harder. To be honest with you, I probably would not still be doing it because it would be too big of an emotional ask.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We have one of her clinical supervisors, Alex Diaz. Hi, Alex.
Hi.
And also the Director of Family Services at Creative Health Services, Phil Apostle. Hey, Phil.
Hi, Jen. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, Alex, I'm going to come to you first. Why are you not surprised that Amber was nominated for this award?
Well, where do I start? Amber's an amazing person. Definitely, her work ethics are, you know, they are an example for people to follow. And I don't just say Amber has been my clinical supervisor for years. I've been with Creative Health for about 10 years now. And she's been my favorite. I mean, even when things have changed, I mean, I've even given my own complaints. I'm like, I don't want to lose my supervisor because she's always been great. And everything she does, she's always excellent at it. And so it doesn't surprise me. And I'm very happy for her.
No. So yeah, I hear you speaking about her leadership. What have you seen her do with her leadership in the face of adversity?
Well, one of the first things she does is that she needs to structure herself. Amber's a J, like I'm a J. This is the personality types. So us J's, we need to make sure we live by our schedule, we die by our schedules. And so I know one of the things that she does is structure herself very well. She makes sure that she does reach out to her ecosystem. I mean, she utilizes our model very well, and I can see it in her lifestyle and how she supervises and how she helps others. And so I've been able to see her work ethics through that.
Oh. So I hear you speaking to how dedicated she is to the model and living by it. And I wonder, how has that dedication that she demonstrates, how does that impact your commitment to your own growth and development?
Well, leaders lead by example. And so one of the things that I appreciate in leadership and the leadership that we have at Creative Health is that we don't just talk the talk, we walk the walk, right? And so those are the things that I can honestly say, not because I'm just speaking well about her. It's something that I've seen her live. And constantly when I'm being challenged, the first thing she goes by is what does the model teaches us to do, right? Alex, you need to reach out to what, right? And so a lot of times I can answer my own questions, because this is how she asks herself the questions, like, what should I do with this? And how am I going to go about it? Or how other people are going to perceive me if I do it this way. And so I've seen her in action. And I know this because, again, I know Amber for, quite some time now. And
Yes.
I've seen her consistency with that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful picture. When you speak, I can hear you almost like a projector showing, like, you see Amber doing X, Y, and Z. So when you face something similar, it's like you can just, do as you're being taught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Phil, I'm going to come to you now. So Phil, why are
Okay.
you not surprised that Amber's been nominated for this award?
I'm honestly not surprised at all. Amber really embodies what this award is, I think, and what Marion's legacy was all about. As you know, I was fortunate enough to know Marion, and I see like so many parallels in what Amber does, right? From Amber's journey through like training into like advanced practice and her work with like at-risk youth and even just like mentoring like future therapists. I think it really mirrors that same path of dedication to the field, right?
Yeah.
I think like Marion, Amber prioritizes connection, right? She makes people feel seen, supported, and capable. She even shares that same warmth down to, I think people always talk about Marion as being like a big hugger, right? And Amber's a self-proclaimed hugger, I don't get into that too either, but she is. So I just like that just reminds me of her. But I think also this parallel between Amber and Marion, like Amber comes from this like big, beautiful blended family, right? And Marion too, right? And she carries that sense of like care and connection into her teams and the families we serve. So I believe we can all say like Amber does not like, she doesn't just meet the criteria for this award. Believe like Amber truly reflects the spirit and heart of what we think this award was created to honor, right?
Yeah. Oh. So what do you appreciate, about Amber's leadership? I'm just thinking, in terms of your, like, where you're at in your position, right? And then having
Yeah.
Amber as a report to you, like, what do you appreciate about what she does with her leadership?
I mean, the short answer is like, well, she makes my job easier, number one, right?
Hey, can't
Hey,
underestimate that.
like Alex, I've known Amber like forever, really. I mean, to talk about her trajectory from like starting at Creative Health as like an intern to becoming a mental health professional to being a supervisor to seeing her get licensed to like becoming assistant director to director, right? You can see like her leadership just carried out through everything. And it's just like, she's both like highly effective and deeply thoughtful. She is just so consistent with that. And Amber gets the job done and
Yeah.
always with intention. There's people who just want to check it off, but I think the way she leads, like, is just very intentional. She has great balance. She knows when to push and when to step back. Like Marion too, she reminds me, like she leads with curiosity, thinks creatively, and is honestly, Amber's often like a few steps ahead anytime we're processing something. So she practices what she teaches. So her leadership is also one that's like, she's always working on her own growth. She's open to feedback and she's willing to seek support when needed. Like Amber has no ego about that, which I absolutely admire. Because she's so strength-based, Amber's teams feel supported and believed in. And I think that's why people really thrive under her leadership.
Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking about, what you're describing and, being a program director, supervisor, and family base is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
And so what have you seen Amber do in the face of adversity?
And in our role, get to see a lot of it. And Amber stays incredibly steady in the face of challenges. She doesn't react impulsively. Amber leads with curiosity and helps others slow down while also making sense of what's happening. For example, during times of like rapid program growth. That can get like really chaotic. And Amber stays grounded and thoughtful. She explores like creative solutions and helps turn challenges into opportunities for growth. So I think like her ability to stay calm, think systemically, guide through others through uncertainty is very much in line with how I think we all saw Marion lead too, right?
Yeah. So I love this question for you and Amber's professional relationship. You know, as I've known you, you know, over the years as well. So having Amber as a part of your program, right? How does the way that she commits to her growth, how does that inform, Phil, your growth?
Yeah, and I love this question too. You know, here, and Alex can speak to it, a lot of us kind of say here at the Collegeville Family Center for Creative Health, if you're not growing, you might be dying. That sounds a little morbid, right? But I think working with Amber has really influenced how I think about growth. She models that learning is ongoing, that you're never done with learning, right? Amber encourages reflection. She asks thoughtful questions, very intentional about using support systems. I think for me, like that's pushed me to be more curious about my own patterns and more deliberate in how I show up, especially with those I supervise. So because Amber leads that way, it creates a culture where growth feels normal. And I think that clearly impacts everyone around her. Again, I love like paralleling to like Marion. I think like Marion, Amber's reflective, intentional, always using support systems like that. She's thoughtful about questions, encourages curiosity, and creates space for growth, not just for herself, but like everyone around her. And I think because Amber leads that way, it's pushed me to be more intentional in how I show up and more open to ongoing growth. So,
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Amber and everybody here, I'm so grateful for this time together. Thank you so much. And, you know, for those of you here with us, we encourage you to check out our socials, subscribe to our blog and our newsletter so you can stay in connection with the Alliance and stay in the know. And June 1st of this year, we'll be announcing the recipients. So make sure to check us out so you can find out who has been awarded. So till next time, bye everybody.